Today I'm quickly going to go through my Olivetti M280 286 machine. This is a machine that I've had for a while and haven't had a chance to look at as yet. However, there is a little bit of an issue. When I opened the machine up to make this video, I found that in the motherboard compartment, which is a compartment to the bottom of the chassis, the covers on the EEPROM chips, which are for one of the BIOS chips as well as the keyboard EEPROM, had been eaten by what appeared to be fish moths. So I don't know whether these EEPROMs were exposed to enough ultraviolet light to erase them, but it could be a problem that I might be faced with in the future. So I may be looking for a bit of firmware for the keyboard chip as well as the second BIOS chip, which seemed to have a little bit of eating on the sticker, but that one wasn't completely eaten off. However, the one on the keyboard was. So I hope they weren't exposed to too much ultraviolet light. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the outside of the machine and show you the keyboard, which is in a very good condition. From there I'll show you the I/O part of the chassis, which is the top section, containing all the add-on cards as well as the power supply and drives. And then from there we'll go into the rear, or the chassis, the bottom half of the chassis, which is a separate compartment which houses the motherboard. This machine is built like a tank, and it's the impression that you get when you first look at the front panel. As you can see here, this front panel is in exceptionally good condition and an extremely good example of such a machine. Showing you the keyboard, you can see that there's basically no yellowing on any of the white keys, so it's also in exceptionally good condition. The one thing that I don't have for this machine is the original monitor, but when I look at getting it up and running, I'll get a ISA VGA card for it. So at the moment I think it's got an EGA card fitted, but it will be fitted with a VGA card so I can run it on a flat panel monitor. Taking a look at the I/O section of the chassis, the first thing that you notice is the huge old-fashioned power supply fitted in this machine. This will of course need to be recapped. And taking a look into the I/O cavity itself, you firstly see that there's a massive real-time clock battery, which will of course need to be replaced. The first card that you see is the drive controller card. The next one behind that is the network card, which is then followed by an additional memory card, which holds additional RAM for the machine. And then the last card is the display card, which as far as I can see is an EGA card. So this one will have to be replaced by a VGA card, or a super VGA card for the machine. Taking a look at the motherboard cavity, the first thing that you notice is the 286 CPU, which has a heatsink fitted on top of it. And the two EEPROM chips that you see with large rectangular stickers on them are the two chips that I spoke about at the beginning of the video. The longer chip being the keyboard EEPROM, and the other one being the secondary BIOS EEPROM. So I hope they haven't been exposed to too much ultraviolet light. The light wasn't on when I first opened the machine up, so hopefully they haven't been exposed to too much ultraviolet light. But that could be a problem that I'm faced with in the future. But this is a pretty impressive motherboard, and you can see all the extra, or should I say the RAM chips fitted onto it. And then obviously on the I/O side you've got that additional RAM card, which adds extra memory to the machine. This brings me to the end of the initial tour of this machine. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks very much for watching.